Je suis Cheryl Ann Bolden. Je nais 1957 au New Jersey. Je suis African-American. J'habite au Paris depuis 1998. I am an installation artist and also doing performance art. And I have a traveling museum called Museum Precious Cargo, where I go into the schools using original archives and documents to talk about the history and culture of the African diaspora. The work that I'm trying to do now is to transmit information about generational trauma dealing with the institution of slavery and colonialism and how it is manifesting itself today in our society and how we can move forward in a way. In terms of connecting with our ancestors and the spiritualness of being able to ask for help and to heal our society. Museum Precious Cargo started out as an educational program in Charlottesville, Virginia. Charlottesville is the home of Thomas Jefferson. And I had an African art gallery, and this gentleman gave me these documents related to enslaved people, and I didn't know what to do with them. And so the teachers in Charlottesville began to ask me to come into the schools and to have it accessible for young people to touch, to be engaged. And because a lot of times young people think that history is old and it's boring, but to actually see it as a living thing and to understand that it's important to preserve their history and culture through the archives, through conversation, because it's difficult for people to speak about. Then I began to use art with the archives. Over my head, I hear music in the air. Over my head, I hear music in the air. So I started to use organic materials such as hair, bones, and found materials, dirt. The bones are organic, but they still have a lot of power in them. And the bones represent the roots of these people. And most of the hair I use is my own hair. So I'm putting my own self into the work and mixing it with images or materials that are representing of the future, like glass and plastic and metal. So the idea is you can see something positive in the future, that we have to look at history, but also we can see that history is always with us and we can change the outcome of certain things in history. So I like this idea of balance. So you're looking at the document, which is pretty hardcore, and the idea of softening it up with art gives people the opportunity to not internalize it as something negative. It's not judgmental, it's just putting the information out on the table for people to begin to do their own research and to talk about it without feeling guilty or being angry about it. Recently, I've been working on a series of bustiers using metal and bone and crystal. You can wear it like an armor, protecting yourself from the negative forces. And I enjoy wearing it. It kind of keeps you up. But in a lot of ways, it's actually liberating to be able to walk in the world and hold your head up high, using the organic material to guide you. I believe that finally now women are getting to have more exposure, particularly women of color. I see that happening. I'm very interested in the question about feminism. I think it's very important for young women to understand that being a so-called feminist is being free.